Well, if you heard that, that was the song from Madagascar that I put the clip up when things were going great in the market for a short period of time. And as you know, this week we had the best week ever. The last 4 days of the week, the market was up 15% from the close on Friday last week through the close Friday this week. The market was up about 10%. So a pretty good week for the market, to be sure. That being said, and now you're getting people coming out on TV talking about exactly that. You know, the bottom is now in. It's time to get back into stocks. It's sorted through it, and yada yada, on and on. Whoa, champ, as they say in that very funny Ping golf commercial that they don't show anymore. I would not get too carried away with it's over, everyone back in the pool, buying with both hands type of analysis. That the odds of that being right, don't make any sense. The way I think it makes sense to look at it, the bottom. My thought all along has been, as things have played out, my thought has been, okay, down in the mid to kind of low eights for the S&P 500. That's, I think, going to end up being about the bottom. I think we may make a run. In fact, I'm convinced we will make a couple of more runs down there as we, process through the end of the bear market. And so, if we end up touching 799, just to give you a feel for what I'm thinking, in the process of doing that, okay. If the next actual low is 850 and the true bottom we're actually to somehow be in, okay too, but there are going to be more runs down to, into the eights, however low you want to think of that, is my take on it. I still am not in the S&P 500's going to 600 camp or whatever, but we'll see how that goes. So one other thing I would add about that is if we do in fact run down again in the manner that I'm describing, it will be less scary. We've already done it. The run, there was one day where it closed at 848. That was less scary than the first time intraday we went down to 839. Is that what it was? Whatever. The initial shock is over, so we're a little bit, maybe not as much as we should be, but we're somewhat inured to the run down to those types of levels. And even though the shock may be over, we shouldn't fool ourselves into thinking that it's all pie in the sky from here and all our problems are behind us. I've positioned in such a way where I've described this, where it's not crucial that I be right. I've spent a little bit of cash, probably need to spend a little bit more in here, and I'll do that on the next run down. And you really need to plan right here, right now, mentally, I guess, even if you end up not being one to take action on something like that, really expect that there's going to be another run down. We could easily drop 100 points next week on the S&P 500. I'm not saying that because of the election, just because of what we've seen, these big 100-point moves that could easily keep going for a while. It doesn't mean it's going to get worse, and it doesn't mean that all is all better either, but to the extent you can think about that now over the weekend while you're probably in a good mood, probably will serve you better if it does happen that way, where we do have some sort of panic puke down again. I can't imagine how we wouldn't, but we'll see. And I would not get carried away. They pull people out for TV, that weren't on before, telling us to buy them all. I also get a kick out of the fact, when they get someone on who's just been dead wrong the whole time down, the whole way down. Jim Paulson, I think his name is, the guy from Wells Capital. I mean, good God, that guy has been so wrong. I don't know why they bring him back on. Come on back the next cycle, Jim. You're a good guy, and we'll put you on the air the next cycle. Give you a chance to get that one right. He's just, and there's a lot of them like this who have just been so wrong. Whatever you do, you can't listen to someone who's been totally wrong about every aspect of it in the manner that he has. Good grief. Well, that's about it. Just a kind of a short interview, just because everybody's feeling good. Go watch some sports. Go watch some football. One thing, I was on CNBC on Friday afternoon, a few minutes after the close, and kind of interesting. I'm walking into the studio down in North Phoenix, and walking out while I was walking in was Frank Caliendo. He is the Frank TV guy who does the W impression, John Madden, and a few others. Said hello to him. Pretty personable guy. Not as tall as you might think. But anyway, just kind of an amusing story. At least I thought it was amusing. He really was a very pleasant fellow, saying hello and all. All right, that's about it. Have a great weekend.